Hey you guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I am very excited because we are going to be decluttering my single eyeshadow collection. So I have these kind of free-floating single shadows. This palette is empty just to kind of move things around. I have these kind of magnetic singles, and then I have like my single compact single eyeshadows and like liquid shadows and stuff like that. So we're going to go through these first, and then I'm going to pull out all of my liquids, creams, super shock shadows, and anything else that comes in like an individual compact, that kind of thing. So I'm really excited about this one. I have been getting really into my single shadows as of late, mostly the cream and compact ones. I need to get more into the magnetic ones again. So I'm kind of looking into making more videos with my singles. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. I know I'm going to do a depotting video pretty soon, but if you'd be interested in me playing with these more, putting together custom palettes and all that kind of thing, let me know. But anyway, let me stop rambling and let's get into this. If you like single shadows, if you like eyeshadow in general, hit like down below, maybe hit subscribe because there's going to be a lot more where this came from. And let's get started. So let's start with this one. This is a double-sided Z palette. It was full of Coastal Scents shadows and then a few ColourPop singles. Coastal Scents is a gazillion years old and they don't exist anymore, but for those of you who don't know, they used to sell really cheap single shadows that were of a decent quality. I'm not going to declutter any of these because I actually decluttered it when I got it, and that wasn't that long ago. So this one is going to stay as is. Let's get on to this. So this is just a bunch of random singles that I have. So I'm just going to kind of go to one side or another whether I'm going to keep or get rid of them. This is ABH's Orange Soda, which is like a classic shade, and it's good for building palettes, so I'm going to keep that. This is ABH's Pink Champagne, which is a very beautiful shimmer. Keeping that. All my ABH ones are going to stay. I only have a few. This one is Venice from ABH. Kind of duochrome-y, not really, but it is a very beautiful color. And then this matte is also a good one. It's the shade Blazing from ABH. So I'm hanging on to all of those. These are a couple more Coastal Scents ones, actually. I should put these in the other palette. This one is called Mauve Frost, and this one's called Nectar. But it doesn't really matter because you can't even get any of these anymore. I just use them for palette building. Moving on, I have a few from Colored Rain. This one is called Happy Days, and I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this one. It's supposed to be this like peachy pink duochrome, and I guess it is, but it's just kind of lackluster for me. And I'm never gonna pull for it because it's just kind of boring, so that one can go. This one's also from Colored Rain. I know it doesn't look like something I would literally ever use, and it's kind of not. This is the shade Unexpected. It's basically just a metallic dark green, and yeah, like realistically, I'm never gonna pull for that either, so that can also go. This one though, this is the shade Your Majesty from Colored Rain, and if that sounds familiar, it's because it is identical to the gold shade in the Queen of Hearts palette. I bought this specifically because I love that shade so much. I want to have it available in single form, and just in case I ever in a million years hit pan on the shade in the Queen of Hearts palette, which they don't even sell anymore, I didn't want to lose access to that shade because it's just such a good, like, bronzy, warm gold. I mean, I feel like it's less groundbreaking now than it was when I first got it, but I still love it, so obviously I'm keeping it. I have a couple of ColourPop single shadows that I bought, like, from their website as singles. This is my busted shade Tea Garden. Really pretty duochrome though. I use that a lot. We have this one, which is the shade Come and Get It, which is a much better like peachy gold duochrome than like that one from Colored Rain. Like, it's certainly not groundbreaking, but I do like it. This is Glass Bull, probably my favorite ColourPop shadow ever. It's gorgeous. I know this is such a like simple duochrome these days, but at the time everyone was like, what in the actual hell? And then this is a fun color. It is Slim Fit. Just a really pretty like vibrant coral shade from ColourPop as well. So then all of these are shades that I depotted from existing ColourPop palettes. I don't remember which ones all came from which. These all over here came from Ooh La La, which is the monochrome pink palette. These two glitters, this one came from Honey, and this one I think came from So Jaded. I hang on to them because I don't dislike ColourPop's pressed glitter formula, but I don't necessarily want to keep them in the palettes. So I'm going to hold on to these because I specifically picked these 6 shades from the palette to hold on to. Keeping these because, again, I like their duochromes enough. I don't even know why I hang on to this. This is just a random, like, turquoise shimmer from one of the palettes. I think it was the Chasing Rainbows palette. Either way, you can't get it anymore. I never use this. I'm probably never going to use this. It's very pretty and sparkly, but, like, it's not something that I'm ever pulling for. This, I don't remember where this is from. It's just this really shiny, like, taupe shimmer, and it's just really beautiful. Like, this is absolutely up my alley, something I would definitely pull for. And honestly, these two as well. These are, like, kind of some greeny tone. There's, like, a greeny tone gold and then, like, a gold tone green, kind of. And that's those two. Honestly, I might just hang on to the green and ditch the gold one. Because I feel like the green is more unique. And the gold, I probably have a zillion things that do the exact same thing as that, you know? I don't know, but I also feel like it's useful. Whatever, they're teeny tiny little pans, so I'm just going to hang on to both of them. So let me put these back in. I'm not going to organize these right now. That's a later project. I may film that if you guys are interested in seeing it. But for now, I'm just going to kind of pop them in with their brand mates. All right, so there's that. Next palette. So this palette has all of my Sydney Grace single shadows. I do not anticipate getting rid of any of these because I picked them out. I'm going to try to remember all the shade names. Concrete Road, Iced Mocha, Embrace. I think this is Puppy, Ivy League, Dark Chocolate Raspberry? No, just Dark Chocolate. That's a different one. This one is Unpredictable. Then we have Commission, The Greatest Gift, I believe. Yeah, The Greatest Gift. This one is Peace. Voila. Cadet. Yes, Cadet. Tiara, which is a classic. Troops. This is the multi-chrome shadow in Twisted Shifter, which I bought because it was supposed to be a dupe for the multi-chrome in the Pat McGrath palette. What in the hell? I'm drawing a blank. The Divine Rose 2. And it's really not. It's much more of a purple. The one in the Pat McGrath palette is very hot pink, and this one is purple, and then the green is pretty lackluster. So I think I'm actually going to get rid of this one, especially since now I have the Pat McGrath palette that this was trying to dupe. This one is Winter Garden, I believe. Yes, Winter Garden. This one they sent me as a freebie. I don't really know if I'm ever going to use it. It's called Cupid. It's cute, though, and it would probably be fine in some, like, custom palettes. So I'm hanging on to it. It's more satiny, so I think you could probably even use it in the crease as well. So she gets to stay for now. I haven't really gotten to play with it a lot. And then this one is Red Chameleon, which is one of their, like, classic duochromes. So love Sydney Grace. Their formula is unbelievable. I busted my Iced Mocha because it's one of the shades I use the most. So I'm probably going to buy a new one of that, but their formula is excellent. I definitely want to get my hands on more of these. This is a brand that I obviously love. This is Luxie. Get this. They have some of the most beautiful duochrome and like multi-chrome sparkly shades ever, and every single one of these is $3. Sometimes they go on sale and you can get them for $2.50. Unbelievable good deal. I will go ahead and name all of these just quickly in case you're curious. I'm not going to swatch any. If you guys want like a single shadow swatch party type video, let me know. I'd be happy to do it because some of the shifts in these are incredible. But let's see. I put them in alphabetical order. Abracadabra, Angel Wings. This one is Apollo, Aquarius, Baby Girl, Bougie, Caterpillar, Cookie Dough, Dollface, Drip, Frostbite, Get Naked, Glass Wing, Glazed and Confused, Hybrid, Jelly, Laced, Lady Luck, Latte, Limelight, Misfit, Nectar, Nymph, Painted Lady, Reflection, Rosé, Starburst, Supersonic, Ube, and Wild Child. Now, do I want to declutter any of them? I feel like Nymph is what Unexpected by Colored Rain is like what I wanted that to be. It looks really, really deep in the pan, but on a swatch, it's much more reflective. So, you know, looking at it in the pan, I was like, do I need that one? But yeah, I love that. Yeah, I love all of my Lucy shadows. They're incredible. Would love to talk more about them, and will absolutely be picking up more from their line because the quality is amazing. And then these are all misfits as well. They kind of just didn't fit in anywhere else. So these, I think I can make a pretty decent dent in. This is a single from Dose of Colors that actually came in a compact, which is why the bottom is so sticky. It is the shade Caffeine Queen, and it looks pretty unassuming, but it's actually pretty nice. And when you blend it out, it has all of these really beautiful, like, wet glitters. So it makes a really nice one and done shadow. These are my JD Glow Galaxy shadows, which I love. I have Good God, Opal, and Unexpected, so these are all staying for sure. These square pans here are all Makeup Geek, which, number one, I don't think they really sell makeup anymore, and number two, I never really think about. But they are useful for making, like, custom palettes. Yeah, I mean, they are really beautiful and shimmery. Oof. Super shiny. Yeah, I'm gonna hang on to those mostly because they're good for custom palette making. This is Mermaid from NYX, which is finally having her moment in the spotlight. I've had it for years, and it is a beautiful single. This is some random matte purple from NYX that I picked up, though, and I never think about it or use it, so I'm gonna get rid of that. These are both shadows that I depotted from the really, really old Kat Von D Alchemist palette with the, like, iridescent shades. I have the pink one and the green one. The pink one is pretty lame, so I think I'm going to get rid of that, but I am going to keep the green one because that's, like, awesome. This is depotted from a Juvia's Place palette, I think the original Saharan. And, I mean, it's a pretty duochrome, but I'm just never pulling for something that dark as a shimmer shade, you know? So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that one. This is, I believe, another shade from NYX, if I'm not mistaken. It's just a really simple green-brown duochrome, and to be honest, if I'm going to pull for something like this, I'm going straight for Sydney Grace's Red Chameleon, or the red-green duochrome in the Tiny Marvels palette, or I have a bunch of, you know, red-green or green-brown duochromes, and this one is super lackluster. This one is Nabla's Water Dream. It is my only Nabla single shadow, and it is just one of those really, really particulate, wet-looking shades that I love, so obviously that stays. This is some random single from Stila. I believe it's called Black Diamond, and I kept thinking I was going to use this in some kind of really editorial way because it does come off really, really wet and shiny, and see, now that I've swatched it, I'm like, ooh, yeah, I want to find a way to use that. So, I'm gonna. I am a sucker for anything super wet and glittery looking, I'm sorry. These are all, the little oddly shaped pans are all shimmers from this really old Tarte palette. And I don't really know. They're so old, dude. They're so old. This I don't need. I'm never gonna pull for a copper shimmer from my single shadows, so that can go. This is a really nice green, but I have Sydney Grace Cadet, which I think is at least that pretty. I kind of want to compare them, actually. Cadet is a little more green, and this one's a little more shiny. What about that ColourPop shade that I kept? See, this is half the battle, right? Figuring out if you have the same shit over and over again. So that's the Tarte one, and that's the ColourPop one. Actually, I might replace the ColourPop one with the Tarte one, because it's way shinier. Actually, that is what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to replace the ColourPop with the Tarte. See, that was useful information, I think. Goodbye, ColourPop. Hello, Tarte. Fantastic. Continuing on, this is a very pretty, like, taupey shade. Oh, it's so shiny, dude. Yeah, I'm not going to get rid of that. Come on. This is this, like, bluish, frosty blue silver. Oh, man. See, I wonder why I keep them around, and then I swatch them, and I'm like, oh, that's why. This is like a pink gold duochrome though, and I have a bunch of that kind of thing, and this one's pretty lackluster, so I'm gonna get rid of that one. Okay, I only kept a few. That's pretty good. I'm gonna move these over to this palette with their other friend because it feels weird to have them separate like that, so here we go. This is from some random palette I got in a BoxyCharm at one point, but it's a really pretty, like, shiny topper color. And like I said, I love the wet-looking sparkly stuff. I don't even remember what it's called. I don't remember what palette it was, but it's gorgeous, so I hang on to it. Let's see, where was I? Down here. This is a Natasha Denona sample shade that I got from Sephora one time. It is in the shade Pure Love, which is from the Love palette, which you can't get anymore. It's very pretty, so I'm hanging on to that. These are all 5 of the shades from the Natasha Denona, I think it's called the Jubilee palette. As a palette, super ugly. As singles, love them. So I have this, like, blue shade. I don't remember what any of them are called. I am so sorry. But then, like, this yellowy shimmer. This is one of the cream to powder shades, so it looks incredibly dark in the pan. But on swatch, it's this really gorgeous teal. Love that. Makes an awesome liner. And then these 2 really easy to use type of shades. I pull for this, like, rosy taupe all the time. For custom palettes especially. I love that one. This is from a Winky Lux palette, I believe, that I depotted. It's basically just kind of a lamer version of ColourPop's Glass Bowl or Sydney Grace's Winter Garden. So this one's gonna go because I have at least 2 shades that do the same thing but better. And then these are all from the Urban Decay Moondust palette, which, if you're wondering how I depotted it, a lot of effort and a lot of prying through plastic. That being said, there are definitely shades in here that I'm not going to use, namely this. Like, what am I doing with that? Nothing. I mean, it's beautiful, but I'm never going to use it. Same with this dark... Well, I mean, the blue... I could be convinced to use the blue. Look at that. This is giving me very much the same thing as Stila, the Black Diamond shade that I kept, and the Stila Black Diamond shade I liked a little bit more. So that's okay to go. So let's see, what am I up to? I'm getting rid of this one, the black with blue in it. Even though it's very pretty, I'm just never going to use it. This looks like Stila Black Diamond, and I'm definitely going to keep the Stila one over this one because I just like how it swatches better. The blue I actually do like. I think it's cute. This is Lithium, which is like a classic of their Moondust shades. That's definitely not going anywhere. So beautiful and sparkly. The green, I need to think. Ooh, it's got like blue sparkles in it. Ugh, that's beautiful. The purple has like blue and pink sparkles in it. Yeah. I'm such a clown. I was like, oh, I'm going to get rid of most of the Moondust palette. No, I am not. Let's see. This red here looks like it mostly has, like, pink sparkles in it. I don't know how likely I am to use something like that. I don't really pull for reds like that. Maybe if it had, like, a gold shimmer or something, then maybe. But the pink shimmer, I don't know. I'm not, like, obsessed with it, so I think I'm okay to let that one go as well. And then this pink looks kind of lackluster, to be honest. Yeah, it's basically just like a sheer base with pink sparkles in it. And they're not super high impact, so that can go too. I got rid of half of it. Look at me. Those stay. Okay, so this was a pretty successful one, actually. And here are all of those decluttered singles. I think that's pretty good. It's a place to start going into my creams, liquids, and compacts. So let me go get those and we will continue on. Alrighty, my hands are covered in glitter and we're about to make that problem worse. These are the single shadows that live in a drawer that I have been reaching for almost every day for the last several months. I have been so into my singles lately in this kind of format. It's a little overwhelming though, so I think we need to at least try to narrow it down a bit. That being said, I use these a lot and I love them, so we will see. Let's start with my ColourPop Super Shocks because I think they are the bulk of what is present in this drawer. It is occurring to me that I don't know where Ritz is, and Ritz is my favorite Super Shock shadow. And we're going to operate under the understanding that I'm definitely not getting rid of Ritz. It's my favorite. I use it all the time. That one is staying for sure. So let's take a look at the other ones that I have sitting here. As you can see, I am a fan of the ColourPop Super Shock shadows. Obviously. Oh no, Ritz is right here. What the hell? I'm sorry, my brain just like conked out of that whole experience. Okay, so obviously Ritz is not going anywhere. She is my number one favorite. She is the moment. She is the blueprint of ColourPop Super Shocks. I have a backup of Ritz sitting in my drawer for when this becomes like unusably dry. That is one problem with Ritz, is it does dry out pretty quick, but does it stop it from looking beautiful? No. Let's see, what else is staying for sure? This is Ladybird, really beautiful topper shadow, like crazy wet looking glittery. I'm gonna swatch it because I can't help it. Anytime I put this over the top of any other shadow, it just takes it to another level. It's totally like a transparent base with just like these gorgeous glitters. It's not even really coming across. Do you see that? It's literally just no base, all glitter. Love it, love it. Put it over everything. Let's see. My newest ones are definitely staying. This is The Business, which looks very green in the pan, but works really beautifully as just like a slightly greeny gold kind of topper moment. That's what I like to do with my Super Shocks in case that wasn't immediately obvious. Very pretty, very shiny. This one is also new to me, this one. This is Aster. Really pretty, like, mauvey pink. And then the one I've been pulling for a ton is a little quirky. It's this really pretty, like, bronzy shade with these, like, silver and blue glitters in it. I've been using this as a one and done a lot. So I love those, definitely. This one is also a great topper shadow. This is Sail Away. It's basically just like pink and gold glitters on a mostly transparent base. Oh, look at that. So beautiful. You can't even really see how pink they are. But I can. Gorgeous. Koosh goes with Ritz. I love this in the inner corner. I love this as like an inner lid brightening moment. Stunning. Let's see. Rooftop Cocktails. You can pry out of my cold dead hands. Look how gorgeous that is. Oh. I love a red, brown, greeny, turquoisey duochrome. Love it. Ice Dream, another beautiful topper shade. It's like blue, purple, pink kind of sparkles. You can't even really see it because of the lighting. What if I swatch it? Oh, no. Don't pull my arm to swatch Ice Dream. Super pretty. I love that one. I think I can finally let go of Liberty. I don't even think they sell Liberty anymore. And it's a very beautiful silver, but for two reasons it kind of needs to go. Number one, it's pretty dried out. And number two, if I want the most high impact silver on the planet, I'm reaching for my Nabla Platinum Cutie palette. Because that one is the most insane thing I've ever seen. So I think it's time to say goodbye to Liberty. Ah, no, my frog is broken. Oh no. I'm definitely not getting rid of frog though. It's a beautiful topper color. Sometimes they're just a little fragile. Well, since I pressed it back in, now I have a bunch of it all over my finger, so I guess I'll show you a swatch. That is frog. You can't even really see, but it's like pink and blue kind of sparkles. Either way, it's just so wet looking. Love that. This is my only matte Super Shock. It's the shade Bill. Very pretty mauvey, taupey moment. I like this a lot. The formula is delicious. Let's see. This is Mycelium. It's from the Raw Beauty Christie collection, which you can't get anymore, but I love this gold shade so much. It's so sparkly. It's perfect. So obviously that's staying. This makes me so sad. This is Waddles, which is one of the only satin Super Shocks that they ever did. And I love this, but it is so dried out, busted, and hard panned that I can't even use it anymore. So it breaks my heart to lose Waddles, but it needs to go. I'm so sad. I love her. But goodbye, Waddles. This I love a lot. This is Telepathy. It is the most fun, like, blackened, grungy gold. And for as long as I've had this, it has held up incredibly well. That swatch sucks, but do you see that black base? But with that flash, yeah, it's a really unique color in my collection, so it's not going anywhere. This is so old. This is one of my first Super Shocks. This is Millionaire. It's dried out, crusty. It's this bronzy brown with pink sparkles in it. It is so dried out and crusty, and I keep telling myself that I'll use it anyway, but I don't, and I probably shouldn't. So it's time to say goodbye to Millionaire. This is Birthday Wish. I think I thought this was going to be more high impact as a topper than it is. It's like this silvery gold base with pink sparkles in it. And I don't know, like, I never reach for it because it just doesn't really do it for me. It's pretty, but I just never really use it as a topper. Because it's gold-based, I want to put it on top of golds, but then it has these really cool-toned pink and purple sparkles. So I just never really have a use for it. So I don't think I'll really miss it if I let it go. I need to get rid of this. I need to get rid of this and see if they still make it. This is Sailor. She's old, she's busted, but it is just such a sparkly, like, neutral base with these bright blue and green and silver glitters. Are you kidding me? That's so pretty. I am going to hold on to this for now. I'm going to find out if they still make the shade Sailor. If they do, I'll buy a new one. If they don't, I'm not getting rid of it. I'm sorry. It's just too pretty. This I love. This is the shade Cami Crush from like the Y2K collection. It is a pink base with this intense lime green shift. You can't even see it in the pan. Maybe I can show you on my hand. Or on my finger, maybe. I don't know. It has this super intense lime green. I mean, it's lime green. You can see it a little bit there. It's crazy. In person, that is bright lime green, not this minty color you're getting here. It is lime green, and I love this shade so much. By the way, if that kind of shade appeals to you, I don't think they sell that particular Super Shock anymore, but Juvia's Place sells the Mauves palette, and the shimmery shade in the Mauves palette looks almost exactly like that. This is Sweet Tea. I feel like I thought this was going to be a really cool, like, pink, sparkly moment. But the glitters that they put in it are, like, too similar. Actually, I mean, then I put it on the back of my hand and I'm like, oh, wow, that's gorgeous. Yeah, that's really pretty. I feel like it's not as amazing as I expected it to be because I think the glitters that they put in here are too similar in tone to the base. And so they kind of get lost a little bit. But it is really wet looking and pretty. So, I'm still keeping it. It's not what I expected, but it is still pretty. This is Flower Child. It is a very pretty, like, almost silvery gold. Like, it's a kind of a neutral toned gold. I don't really know another way to describe it. But it's really shiny, very beautiful. And last but not least, we have Set to Stun. It is this kind of cranberry tone with like blue and purple sparkles in it. And I don't know. I feel like I never reach for this kind of color, number one, as pretty as it is. And number two, it's already kind of dried out, and this is far from my oldest Super Shock. So the fact that it happened that fast is kind of weird. I feel like if I want this exact look, I can just take like a cranberry shade from anywhere else in my collection and then top it with any of my other glittery shades. And I'd like it even more than I like this. So I'm going to let this one go. All right. For continuity's sake, let's talk about the rest of the ColourPop stuff in here. I have a couple of the Jelly Mutt shadows, which I'm going to be hanging on to. This one is newer to me. It's the shade Sage Bundle. And it's just this really pretty, like, neutral base with these mint green sparkles running through. Gorgeous. Big fan of that. It's so much fun as a topper. I've been enjoying it a lot. And this one I bought because it was in the Star Wars collection, obviously. It's in the shade Protocol, as in Protocol Droid, as in this guy right here. Hence, it is this, like, white base with yellow glitter because he's gold. C-3PO, you know? Can't get it out of the box. I'm keeping the box, though, because it's cute. So there's that packaging. It's really cute. And then, oh no, it's like drying up already. Oh, it's like dried up already. Aw. I mean, it's still usable. It's just not as, like, jelly as it was before. That kind of sucks. See? I barely opened it. It's weird that it dried up that fast. Huh. Anyway, I'm keeping it because it's from the Star Wars collection, obviously. Duh. And it does still work pretty well. It's a very pretty, like, yellow gold sparkle. So, you know, that's kind of what happens when you buy that formula of eyeshadow. I am aware of that. I'm not going to hold it against them. So those are my Jelly Much shadows, and then I have a couple of the shadow sticks, which are recent from them. I have one matte and one shimmer. This is Cocktail Party. It is just like a pretty simple matte brown. So that's that one. And then this one is one of the shimmery ones. It's Honey BB, and it is more of like a goldy champagne shimmer. They're pretty. They're not like groundbreaking shadow sticks by any stretch, but they're nice. I use them. I like them. So that should be all of the ColourPop in here. Now we can move on to some other things. Obviously, I'm not getting rid of either of my About Face liquid shadows. If you saw my Best of 2023 video, these are my favorite matte shadows of the year. I tried a bunch of liquid shadows this year, and none of them were as good as these. This is from Moira. It's their dual-ended shadows, the liquid shadows in This and That. The matte side is fine. The shimmer side was super lackluster. I was really like, oh, this is a complete look in one product, and the shimmer side was just, like, lame. And I'm trying to decide if the matte side is worth keeping the whole thing for. I do like it. It's just an easy-to-use, like, brown. I do like the matte side, so I'll hang on to it for a little longer. While I was on shadow sticks, these are my Nabla Cupid's Arrows. I am not getting rid of these. I'm obsessed with this formula. Nabla literally never steers me wrong. Another favorite, my Danessa Myricks Color Fix in Milky Way. One of the sparkliest, shiniest things I own. This I use as an inner corner highlight all the time. It is the L'Oreal Infallible shadow in Iced Latte. Whenever I'm using singles and I just need an inner corner shade, this is a go-to. Space Cowboy, she stays, obviously. My Jaclyn Cosmetics Shimmer Top Coat in Icicle, I actually use this a lot. I love this. It's very wet looking and sparkly. I don't think they sell these anymore, which is a shame. I got mine at a Marshall's or TJ Maxx or something, but it has a very similar quality to like Ritz or Space Cowboy. So obviously it's right up my alley. I'm going to be covered in glitter by the time I'm done with this. Speaking of glitter, I have this LA Girl glitter topper in Hollow Glam. Get it? It's just a very pretty, like, blue-purple kind of glittery thing. So much fun at New Year's. I'll probably use this for New Year's. Moira Liquid Shadow, the Diamond Days in the shade Eye Contact. Really beautiful and sparkly. This is the Wet n Wild Shadow Silk Liquid Shadow, and I tried, like I said before, I tried a bunch of liquid shadows this year, and this one sucked. I know, I guess you kind of get what you pay for, but, like, this was so unnecessarily patchy and hard to blend on the eyelids. Like, it would blend away to nothing, and then I would add more, and then it would blend away to nothing, and then it would get patchy, and then it would blend away to nothing, and then it would suddenly be super dark and unapproachable. I don't know. I don't like this at all. I don't recommend. On the other hand, the Rare Beauty Liquid Shadow is very nice, and I enjoy it a lot. These are my JCat Prismetal shadows, and here's the weird thing, right? I bought Chrome Crusher first. It has a really beautiful, like, moussey texture, and it's really gorgeous and sparkly. on the eyes. Really reflective and wet looking, like kind of grungy moment. I really like that one a lot. So of course I'm hanging on to that. However, because I like that one so much, I then went and bought the shade Melted Crystal. And this one, I don't know what's wrong with it. It just doesn't give me the same wow effect. I mean, like when I swatch it, it looks like it's going to be really pretty. It's that rosy gold kind of one. But number one, it just doesn't seem as sparkly to me. And number two, when I put it on my eyes, it looked super broken up and patchy. And I don't really know why. So I'm going to declutter this one just because I cannot get it to work on my eyes. Very weird. I mean, they're super cheap, so I guess inconsistency makes sense. But yeah, it was very weird. This is newer to me. This is the Flower Beauty Chrome Crush Pigment. I got the shade Quartz. It's gorgeous. Another one of those really fun, sparkly topper shades. Speaking of sparkly topper shades, more from Moira. I have the Lucent Cream Shadows in the shades Infinity, which is very, you know, like Space Cowboy-esque. It's just basically like brownish base silver glitter. And then a shade much more unique to Moira, the shade Jupiter, which has more of like a warmer base and like blue sparkles running through it. Very pretty. Love both of these. Love this formula. Let's see where to next. My Ulta Beauty Liquid Shadow. I love, this is the shade Game Over. I use this all the time. Such a slept on formula. Seriously, I want like every shade they make of this. It's so good. It's so blendable. I love this. This is my CoverGirl Cocoa Nuts Liquid Shadow. I don't think they sell these anymore, and I'm going to use every last drop of this. It is such a good, like, whipped, moussey formula in the perfect, like, taupey crease shade. I love this. My Kaja stacks. I have Orange Blossom, which has naturally these, like, warmer shades. That one, and that one. Beautiful. I have Rose Water, which of course has the more like cool toned pinky shades. So this, and this. I also love that one. And then I have this one that I got in like a set. It's Buttercup Bubbly. And this one's fine. I like it less than the other two. Because it's more like metallic shades than it is sparkly toppers, and it has a matte on the bottom, and there's nothing wrong with the matte on the bottom, it's just kind of meh. And I don't know. I feel like I'm not gonna go into my singles to get like a metallic gold and a metallic copper. They're not even really that good of metallic gold and copper. Yeah, I'm gonna pass this one on. I never think about this one. It doesn't hold up to the other two. This Essence Soft Touch eyeshadow looks very boring, and the reviews of these on Ulta are abysmal, but I actually really like this. It's not high impact shimmer at all, as indicated by the Soft Touch name, but whenever I'm doing a really simple kind of look, like for an interview or something, it just makes a nice, like, base lid color. It's pretty, I like it. I don't think Essence makes these anymore, but they are the Melted Chrome eyeshadows, and they're stunning. Some of the most high shine metallic singles I own, so I'm definitely not getting rid of them, even though I don't think you can get them anymore. Sorry. I really like this Pixie liquid shadow. It is super fun and glittery. This, as a topper or in the inner corner, is so gorgeous. It's in the shade Crystalline, by the way. Gorgeous. I never use this. This is the Sephora shadow pencil thing in the shade Taupe. It's fine. I just don't think about it. Like, it's a perfectly acceptable satin taupey shade. But I never use it, so it can go. I love my KVD Dazzle Sticks. I have Hail Surge, which is this really pretty pearly shade with like pink and blue and purple sparkles in it. That one is super fun as a topper. And then I have Electro Bolt, which is this like gold with vibrant green sparkles. I'm going to swatch that one because it's just so cool. That's Electro Bolt. How about that? Amazing! Highly recommend the KVD Dazzle Sticks. They're awesome. These are from House Labs, like the old one from Amazon. These were on like mega sale. Or one of them I got in a BoxyCharm. This is the first one I got. It's the shade Glam Attack. And it's like a pretty silvery color. And I don't go for silver all that often. But when you blend it out, it ends up making this really wet looking topper shade. And I love that kind of thing. So I was like, cool, I like that. So then I saw that they were on this like mega sale on Amazon, and I picked up another one in the shade Starlight. And again, you kind of swatch it on the hand, and it's this very pinky kind of shimmery shade, but you can blend it out to be very wet looking and almost Space Cowboy-esque. So I actually like these, and I need less in here so that I can remember to use them. Okay, so I feel like I've kind of gone through all the ones that were sitting on the top because I use them more, so let's get a little bit mean. This e.l.f. Mint Melt shadow stick is, well, A, broken, but B, just pretty unremarkable. I mean, it looks pretty on a swatch, but like on the eyes, I cannot get it to be like as high shine as I want it to be, so that's gonna go. This Becca Duo, A, obviously you can't even get anymore, and B, I just don't think about it. Like, it's got the matte side that's like a pinky kind of color, and then the shimmer side that's this like pink and gold glitter topper thing, and like, it's pretty, there's nothing wrong with it, I just never ever reach for it. And I feel like I have stuff that I would reach for if I wanted to get this effect, so I'm gonna let that one go as well. Speaking of these double-ended things, this is the Huda Matte and Metal one in Faux Fur and Bamboo Hoops. Bamboo Hoops is a very pretty glitter, like this really fun peachy gold kind of shade. Oh, that is so gorgeous. I was gonna get rid of this, but now I'm questioning myself. Look how beautiful that is. The Faux Fur, though, is literally just like A, dried out, and B, like, the color of my skin. And I'm like, do I want to keep this whole bulky thing for one pretty glitter? It's actually darker than I remember it being. And it's completely dried out. It was incredibly hard to get that swatch. I can't keep this whole thing for that glitter. I have so many things that are that glittery. Okay, this is gonna go. Me also keeping another duo just for the matte. I don't want to hear it, okay? I didn't say any of this had to make sense. It only has to make sense to me. I have these really old Naked Cosmetics loose pigments. A, they're messy. They're pretty. Yeah, they're fine. But they're messy, and I never think about them, so I'm finally just going to let those go. This is the e.l.f. Liquid Metallic Shadow in Moon, and I heard so much hype about these, and I feel like I was pretty underwhelmed when I put this on my eyeballs. Like, when you just apply it, it's like, ooh, ah, sparkly, shiny, or not even sparkly, it's just shiny. It's liquid metallic, not liquid glitter. But, like, then I blended it out on my eyelids. Like, I put it on there, and I was like, it's okay. Like, it's pretty. I don't know. Maybe I should try it again, because it does look pretty. I don't know. It's not giving what I want it to give. But, I mean, look at that. I feel like I've only used it like twice. I want to give it another chance. Now that I've swatched it. See, the danger of swatching is that I'm like, ooh, pretty. That one's in like purgatory, though. I need to try it and then decide. I'm never going to use this. Ever. This is a JCat glitter. It's orange with these like fun yellow and green glitters in it. I've worn this all of once and I've had it for like 5 years. It just needs to go. This is like an old sample of a Stila Glitter and Glow that I don't need. Couple of Revlon color stays. I use this one as a matte a lot, as you can see. I don't know what the shade name is, but it's 715, and it's just this really easy, like, it looks so dark in the pot, but it blends out pretty easily to this like cool tone brown moment. I like it a lot. I use it a lot. The other one, though, I bought thinking I was going to use it a lot, and I don't. It's 740. I think this one's called Black Currant. As you can see, it's basically untouched. You know, it's pretty when I swatch it, but it's like, am I ever going to use a color like that? No, not really. So this one I'll pass on to somebody who will. I really like this Almay cream shadow, actually. It's actually very pretty, so I'm hanging on to it. My L'Oreal Infallibles, I really only ever reach for iced latte. This is Eternal Sunshine, which is a pretty gold, but like, do I need another pretty gold? I have so many pretty golds, you know? Like, yeah, and it is pretty. It's very pretty. But Like, do I need another pretty gold in my collection? I'm leaning toward no, I don't. So there's nothing wrong with the shadow. I just have like a ton of gold shadows, and this is not one that I think about. It doesn't live in my mind as a gold shadow that I love and use. This, though, I know I don't use it really ever, but I refuse to get rid of it. It's called Golden Emerald, and like, first of all, hello. And second of all, I want to be the girl who wears this kind of thing all the time. And so I'm keeping it around until I am. Because what even? It's very unique in my collection. That's the thing. It's very unique. And so I don't feel bad about keeping things that are unique. I have these loose pigments from ABH, and to be honest with you, this one is called Daiquiri. It's a very cute, like, duochrome pink gold type moment. But if I'm going to go all the way out of my way to use a loose pigment, and they're not easy to use, you know? It's pretty. Like, it's pink gold duochrome and it's pretty. But, like, am I going to go all the way out of my way to get a loose pigment to have a pink gold duochrome? No. I can get that from a single shadow elsewhere. I can get it from palettes. I can get it from all kinds of things. So I don't need that. This one, though, I have a really hard time getting rid of. This is the one in the shade Sand. And I just, oh my word. It is so shiny. It's so shiny. Look at that. Every time I look at it, I love it so much. So I don't even feel bad about keeping it. That one stays. I feel something in my heart when I look at it, which means I should keep it. Let's see. This is the Kosas 10-second eyeshadow. This is the old formula, not the new one. I heard the new one kind of sucks. This is the shade. You have to shake it up really good. Copper Halo. They're very watery. Like, super watery, the formula. And I don't know. Like, this shade just doesn't really do anything for me. Like, it's supposed to have shimmer in it, but I feel like all the shimmer blends away completely, and so you're just kind of left with this, like, satin-ish, reddish brown. And I would just rather use a matte shadow for that. So, yeah, I'm gonna let this one go. It's probably expired, too. You know how it is with Kosas. If you don't, Kosas is a, like, clean makeup brand or whatever, and so their stuff tends to expire uber fast. All right, this is what we're left with. These are really old Ace Beauté singles that I got in BoxyCharms at some point in the remote past. These are the shades Cotton Candy and Iced Latte. The formulas remind me a lot of Super Shock shadows. Like, they're incredibly similar to the formula of Super Shock shadows. They're very shiny and pretty, and I just feel like I don't think about them. So that's Cotton Candy is the pink one with the gold, and then Iced Latte is the bronze with the silver. I'm never going to reach for that pink and gold one, but I might reach for that bronze and silver one if I have some more room. So you stay, you go. All right, I'm just going to take these out and get rid of this. Let's talk about these last few. This is a duo from Wander Beauty. It's called the Double Date eyeshadow duo. I actually really like this. It has this, like, cream shadow on the bottom that's got this kind of satin sheen to it. It works as a crease shade. And then it has this really pretty gold topper that you can use by itself, as you can see. Or you can put it over the top of the cream shade for something a little bit more impactful. I feel like I didn't have enough on my finger. Hang on a minute. For something more impactful. So I like that you get options. I like that there's two different textures. So I do like using this, and it makes a good quick look. This is from Touch and Soul. It's the Metalist Sparkling Foiled Pigment in the shade, I think it's called Hollow Mulberry. That's it. Holy free holy, this is gorgeous. I need to pull this out more. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the duochrome in the Pat McGrath Moonlit Seduction palette. That's what this reminds me of. It's beautiful. I have to start pulling for this more. It gets shoved to the back of the drawer and I forget about it, but oh boy, is it beautiful. So, yeah, she's staying. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I really like the formula too. And finally, we have this little mini of a Danessa Myricks. What the heck are these things called? The Infinite Chrome Flakes. This is the shade Sparkler. It came in a cute little set. These are interesting. I feel like I want to play with these on the eyes more. I feel like all I ever do is swatch this, and they're interesting. It really is, like, flaky. And like everything else from Danessa Myricks, once these dry down, they are not budging. Ever. It's kind of got this pinky gold flip. I don't know. I'm not obsessed with that shade. I'm really not. And the question is, do I want to put that much work into a formula that's kind of hard to work with if I don't love the shade that much? I don't know. On the bottom, it looks like rainbow. It looks like it's got like green and blue and all kinds of colors in there, but in the pot, it just kind of looks goldish pink. Wow. If you pack them on, it really packs a punch. I'm going to play with this a little more, I think. I'm going to play with it. We haven't played enough to make an educated decision, so that's what I'm going to do. All right, let's put those all back in their container and see where we land. All right, so this is my single shadow drawer now. I feel like I see everything a little bit better. And this is what we're decluttering from that drawer. So I am pretty satisfied with that, actually. I think this is going to go a long way for me in terms of being able to see everything that I have and not get distracted by stuff that I don't want to keep anymore. So that is the single shadow declutter. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like down below. Leave me a comment and let me know what your favorite brand of single shadows is, whether they come in like compacts or individual pans. I would love to know. I'm always looking for more really sparkly, beautiful singles. And if you want to see more from me, if you want to see the rest of my declutter series, which is coming very close to the end, but I also have lots of fun content planned for 2024. So if you want to see that, please hit subscribe down below. I'd absolutely love to have you. And until the next one, bye you guys.